Emails and text. This one's come in. Congratulations to Dion Juma for getting through to the ABA finals. But look out for in the future Chris, Billy and Smith. And also a hearty hello to a trio of bricklayers. Lee, John and Jason. They should be a band like naked piano players. A trio of naked... Yes. Now, one or two also people are sending in emails and texts trying to find out what time we're on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll have to go out and get a copy of Radio Times, you said here. So let me just have a look. There we go. BBC, ITV, Channel 4, Box Nation, Wednesday. Yep. It doesn't say. It doesn't say what time we're on. Let me have a look at the Thursday. So where's Sky? Are they in this one or are they in the other one? Anyway, we are on Wednesday and we are on Thursday with live boxing, OK? I can't quite tell you when because I don't really know at the moment. OK, next guest, final live guest of the show. I hate saying people are boxing fans or boxing nuts. That sort of doesn't really capture it for me. This guy is, well, I don't know, actor, comedian, comic, screenwriter, fighting talk, expert, all-round good guy. Also, he writes books. Simon Day, please welcome him to the show. Thank you. Looks like a magic trick. You don't do magic as well, do you?
Hey.
And here's a rabbit I didn't prepare earlier. Simon, all jokes aside, they really were marvellous times, comedy and everything. Now, the book, this is the second one or the first one?
It's paperback.
OK, now it did really well, didn't it? I mean, I'm not blowing up your bum. It did some business.
Yeah, it's basically, it's very similar to Sugar Ray Leonard's book, but with no boxing. He was in the Olympic team, I was in the Fast Show team.
But you watched it?
Yeah, he won the gold medal, I won the Hackney Empire New Actor of the Year, 1991. And then we both went downhill. But he's done very well.
Sugar? Yeah. What, Sugar's done very well?
Yeah, he's done all right.
Were you a fan of Sugar? Was it good? Because often you can tell from people whether they were a Hagler nut or a Leonard nut. It's or a Duran nut. You know what I mean? It's kind of,
you know what? I had two mates who were both very big boxing fans. One was Duran and one was Hagler. I was a Leonard fan. And when they fought, me and my mate, he was absolutely devastated. But looking back now, I've come to appreciate Hagler.
Yeah, doesn't that happen all the time?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you look back and you appreciate Hagler. But then reading Sugar Ray Leonard's book, you think, wow, well, OK, he did pick a few fights, but he didn't pick many. I mean, he had some wars. OK, so that aside, what about, how'd you go Eubank Ben? Let's just move it back over here. Which one of those did you like? I mean, not what... Well, I like both of them, but Ben, really.
Yeah, Ben.
I mean, I went to the... I remember they had an ITV thing, the sort of...
I was in that, yeah.
Yeah, with Jonathan Ross.
I had a row with Linda LaPlante at that. Yeah.
When Charlie Magri was sitting there and Eubank goes... They said, you know, Jonathan goes, people say to you that you're not in love with the game, you're in for the money. And he goes, Jonathan, let me show you something. Look at Charlie Magri's face. He said, and look at mine. And Magri goes, well, you know, you've heard my name, so it was brilliant. But they were all there. The body snatcher was there, I remember. Yeah, and that's when they had the Tony on the telephone. Yeah. And Linda LaPlante did a thing where she said, well, I've been at loads of boxing and I've never seen any trouble. And there'd been a massive riot about a week before. And Geezer had lost his eye. Exactly.
Do you still keep an eye on the boxing now? Only big events.
Since Box Nation's come out, I've not been out. I mean, I continually. And the great thing is you repeat the fights too. But yeah,
we do repeat them. You may have noticed.
I am the original armchair fan. I've been to one boxing fight.
It's only been a one show.
One show.
What was that?
Calzaghe Lacey.
Oh, but it's not a bad one. If you don't mind.
Yeah, there I was, third row with two blokes going. He's going to get knocked out, Joe. He's not careful. And then it was just brilliant.
Funny enough, on Twitter today, it's a nice seg, not that we rehearsed it earlier on. On Twitter today, I did this whole thing called Lacey syndrome, which is where British fans fall in love with anyone from America that's got a six-pack. I call it the Lacey syndrome.
No, it's good.
I thought it was quite good. I invented that today.
I mean, it's good, but growing up, boxing, the first people I remember watching was Minter. We were in love with Minter and Colin Jones, and it was... They always got cut, British fighters, and you're always watching a fight. Yeah, you're always thinking, when are they going to get cut? And you're constantly nervous. But it was the same as the football, but it's changed a lot now, you know. We're doing very well boxing-wise.
We are doing very well. Now, you also, I know that Pacquiao and Mayweather, does that irk you that that's not been made? Do you think that is a sort of, is bad? It's bad for any sport that you can't get two guys that should be fighting each other together?
Yeah, completely. And it's strange. But I have to say, and I think you said this in a column too, since since that Marquez fight, it's lost some of its fascination.
It has, yeah.
It really has.
Because he lost that clearly, didn't he? Let's not mention
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam here can't sit in there saying he's lost it. His stablemate, I don't know what you thought about that. But yeah, he lost it clearly. And and then you say anything, well, actually, he's had loads of wars.
Yeah.
You forget that.
Now listen, stay there, Simon. Obviously, we can't go because we've got you trapped in. Simon Day's book is just out in paperback. There you go.
Just in case you...
Biography, of course, yeah, not like a novel. I wrote a novel, didn't sell a. I'm going to write a biography.
I bought your novel.
Yeah, I know you did. I signed it for you, didn't I? Yeah. No, maybe I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Anyway, stay there. Don't go.
I'm wearing the Steve Bunce suit jacket.
I feel terrible
suit jacket,
now.
belly, and the arms poking out.
I knew we should have gone to 90 minutes today. We're just going to get one quick guest on the phone. I call him the Prince. Simon, last week we launched a competition. Trevor Beattie was in that chair, and we launched a competition where we were going to. As a prize, we're going to have a picture, a photograph of a set of gloves. It's the set of gloves that Ali wore against Henry Cooper in their first fight at Wembley, which the ones that had the slight tear in.
The tear.
There they are there, you can see them there. That's the tear's been made worse over the years. That's fantastic. Anyway, that's a rare print, and it's worth about £8,000. And to win it, it's quite simple. People had to send in their poems, their poems. And the poem is what Ali would write if he was fighting a Klitschko in the next few weeks, and hundreds have come in, and I think I've given you one to read. Could you read it for us? Tell us who it's from and have a read of it.
I can't do the accent.
We don't know what accent it is. You don't know who it is, do you?
No, quite. Graham Bolton.
Go on, Graham.
Go on, Graham. Here we go. Before I start, there will be no reference to butterflies or bees. It's 2012, and it's a different Muhammad Ali. I've been brought out here to fight Dr. Steelhammer. He's a real nice guy with real nice grammar. One thing's for sure, I have no doubt when I land my 1-2, it will be lights out. He's been down before, he'll go down again. If I were a betting man, I'd say 9 or 10. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. So when I take his belts, I'll own them all. Very good.
You don't want to be taking Ali's boats, then you will upset him, won't you?
Don't take his boats. He lost them then.
I've got one here from Johnny B. It says, the giant stood 6 feet 8, but my jab's gonna make him irate. He can't hit what he can't see. Never fought someone like Muhammad Ali. I'm pretty and I'm fast and I'm great. I quite like all of those.
It's good.
So keep those coming. It's bunce@boxnation.com, or you can tweet them to me, which is at Big Daddy Bunce. What's coming up, Simon? Where you gigging next?
What's coming next? There's a new show on the History Channel featuring me and John Thompson called No County for Old Men, where we go around various counties meeting people. It's a standard sort of show, but we're old friends and we're very different people. And it's actually pretty funny. We're very pleased with it, actually. And we did Cornish wrestling, but no boxing.
You know when you watch No Country for Old Men, I always have that image of those dogs chasing. You won't have any of those.
No, he was upset because he says I'm not really old. He tried to change it, tried to change the title. And we were like, no.
Well, no country for youngish men.
Yeah, because he's a bit young. He likes to be a bit young. Can I have my Twitter thing up there?
Yeah, have got John's Twitter thing. Simon's Twitter thing.
Someone's sitting there, mate. It's at Simon Day 24.
That tends to be the way we do business here. Did you ever go to a boxing gym when you were growing up in South London?
I used to go to a gym to do fitness, and Lenny McLean used to get in there. And he would sort of come in occasionally and really frighten people. And he came in once and he punched my friend on the arm, sort of knocked him 12 foot back against the wall, because he lived around South East London. And you'd always hear him sort of... I didn't impress him once, and someone said it's the same as your Chris Eubank, but he was all talking about, the whole cake is mine, I take all the slices. You know, he was a very frightening man, Lenny McLean. He wasn't above punching people on the arm.
No, what about you did an act also with Buller, didn't you?
No, that was just an idea I had for this show, which was that we never got together. And if he's watching it, you're killed. I just thought we could get on there, and I could be his promoter, and he could be a fighter, you know. But
it didn't work.
I've done stuff with him before years ago. I've done gigs with him.
You know, Lenny McLean. There's a great picture of Lenny McLean when he was at his pomp and baddest and meanest, and he's got his face, his hair, his little old gloves. Yeah. He's got a pair of shorts, and as you go down to his feet, he's got a really nasty pair of high-tech trainers. Do you remember those? The worst trainers you could possibly have in the 70s.
His book's actually pretty good.
Yeah, no,
it was the first of those books.
Yeah, and that's why it works, because it was the original.
Yeah, I've got a lot of boxing biographies, and they are kind of the best. They're just generally exciting, because all boxers have interesting lives, don't they? Whether it's Harold Graham's or... Yeah. I just read a German fellow whose name's Max Schmeling.
Max Schmeling's book. Was it any good?
Brilliant.
Because I thought Errol Bomber Graham's was particularly good. I had Errol on the show, and that was, you know, he talked about nearly committing
Forget how good he was.
You do forget how good he was. And I thought, I don't know about you, but I thought Sugar Ray Leonard's, the one that came out last year, the one that he's been touting here, the one he talked to me about on the show, I thought that was sensational.
I thought it was excellent, and you can see how he's changed and what he's been through. I was watching him on another show on a different channel, inferior channel.
Yeah.
And
terrible show.
He's just talking very honestly, you know.
Yeah.
And he's got to the core of himself.
Oh, it's part of it. I mean, you know, he's had lots of counselling. He admitted that, and that's how he's getting through it. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm convinced the reason he's getting through his life now is because he's.
What's great? They asked him at the end. They said, "Who would you like to fight?" And he was like, "I don't want to fight anyone. I don't want to get into that." It's great, you know, because normally they go, "Oh, I could have beaten him. I could have beaten him, and I would have beaten him," but. God, I don't think he's got anything to prove, has he?
No, he's got nothing to prove whatsoever. I mean, except as a fighter, he always wants to prove, which is why he kept on coming back and having those breaks. And when you read in the book about the amount of cocaine, it's quite... At least he tells the truth, unlike Frank Bruno, of course, had 3 lines or 4 lines or something, you know.
I mean, you know, it's one thing, you know, having to get up and go and do a bit of stand-up after a late night, but having to go and fight Marvin Hagler after a protracted period of abusing yourself you must be thinking, well, I've got 8 weeks left. I better knock this on the head. Do a few sit-ups.
Do a few sit-ups at last. Well, listen, Simon, it's been an absolute pleasure coming on again. Just give us your Twitter again.
It's Simon at Simon Day 24. This is all I ever want.
Is that it?
That's it. Follow me on there. I often discuss boxing with various people, and they ask me very nice questions. Who do you think is going to win, Simon? And I'll be giving my next big advice will be the Carl Froch Lucian Bute fight, which I think that is going to be.
Yeah, it's a big fight. That's
a big fight, and he's a big lump, isn't he?
Ubute?
Yeah,
giant. I tell you what, he'd be a big light heavy.
He thinks he was. Obviously, he thinks he's going to win.
He thinks it's a walkover.
Yeah, I know.
He does. Yeah.
I think he's watched Froch's last fight, and I think Froch looks when he's doing badly like he's not that good. But I think when he's actually in the ring with him.
Yeah. Well, that last fight, I mean, Froch, I think is a bit worn out and a bit weary. Shot to bits is not.
You told me exactly. You told me how Andrew will fights. He says he punches you, then he holds, then against the ring,
then he has a little float. Listen, Simon, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in. Simon Day, thanks very much. Yeah, it's hallelujah. There's the book.
Old style.
Comedy and Error, it's out now. It is very, very good. I hope you've enjoyed it tonight. We've had plenty of people on. In fact, we've had a few Lunos on. I hope you enjoyed Bobby Gunn, effing and jeffing. Wayne Alexander was fantastic, as was Virgil Hill. Simon Day's been great. Get those poems and get them into me. Bunce at boxnation.com or at Big Daddy Bunce. We're back Wednesday and Thursday.